Good morning. I was live at 8, but I was having some technical issues. Good morning. Good morning. So I just figured out why we didn't have a live at 5 the other day. So I changed the settings, I guess, before Saturday. I guess Friday, I changed the settings on my YouTube. And I set it to where when my videos go up, they go unlisted. Because I shoot them, Mug Club members get their first chance gets to see them. And, so the problem when you put them as unlisted, then when you go live, it's unlisted. And I'm sitting there, it shows it like it's live, but it didn't have any people in there, and there was no comments. And I'm like, what in the world's going on? And I kept studying it, because this was the second time I did the live at 5 the other day. We couldn't have it. And then the Mug Club this morning, I'm like, something's wrong. So I was in there on the computer trying to figure out what it was. And long story short, it was something I did. Good morning. Good morning. Culture, Lifestyle, and Travel. Good morning. From sunny MIA. Yep. Let's see. Good morning. Okay, got some little news for y'all on for our next meetup in Savannah. And let me pull my GPS up here. So first, since I tell you where we are exactly, so we're out in the middle of BFE, as you can see. It's a nice anchorage. It's just off the ICW, like not 200 yards is the ICW right there. You'll see good times coming around there in the picture. Hopefully the wind noise is not bad. I wanted to do an outside one today, so shouldn't be too bad. Usually when the wind's coming from the front of the boat, so I should be all right with that. But we're basically, so for those that know the area, Fort McAllister is just that way. Let's see. I guess the little town of Keller would be beyond the trees there. I'll do a once around and show y'all all that. So trying to give you just heads up like where we are right now. So tomorrow probably, I apologize if that wind is a little rough. Usually it's not too bad when I'm sitting behind the boat. But tomorrow we're going to cross the next sound here, and that is well, I can't even see the name of it on here. So if you type in Hell's Gate, you'll see where the next sound. Guys, if somebody Googles that, for some reason it ain't showing up here on the maps. It's the Okeechee River, I guess, is just beyond. You could probably make it out back there in the back, and then that goes out into that Okeechee Sound, I guess. And then there's a place called Hell's Gate that all the boaters talk about. Be careful of. Go through at high tide. It's going to sink your boat and you're going to die. And this, that, and other thing. But you know what I found out on these trips is it's typically not as bad as everybody says. You know how it is. People like to play stuff up. You know how when people's telling the story, they'll say, oh, I went to so-and-so and it was this and it was that. And they come to find out, you go there and it's like, well, it wasn't nothing like that. So that's held true on these trips as well. I always say it's the ones no one told you about is the ones that get you. But anyway, so that's where we are right now. It's sawgrass all the way around. So we're on a pretty quiet little anchorage here. Hasn't hardly any boats. Y'all seen one pass by. That's the first boat this morning. And just want to make sure. Good morning, guys. Somebody give me a sound check. That wind isn't too bad, is it? I'll have to go down inside if it is. Anybody give me a quick, I don't think it is because usually people will tell me right away, but give me a little wind check. Okay, perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, guys, that's good. All right, so from there, we go up and I'm going to tell you the name of the next meetup place. Okay, the next meetup is Rodney J. Hall Boat Ramp. Excuse me, if you live near Savannah, you probably know where that is. Rodney J. Hall Boat Ramp. It's on, looks like 204 and right on the ICW. And we'll be doing that on Wednesday around 7. So Rodney J. Hall Boat Ramp. For those that wanted to come out and do a little meetup, we'll meet y'all there. We should safely be there. We're not really that far. We're only probably 15, 20 miles from that spot. We're going to just spend the day here and ease out probably tomorrow and ease up over there. Let's see. I guess the next little spot really is we'll be crossing Savannah River after that next time we get underway, which is the line for South Carolina and Georgia. So y'all know we try to do a state a month, and so with keeping with that, we should do pretty good and cross over Savannah River sometime next week. Let me pull this YouTube up. Here we go. Get our volume down. I'm answer a few questions. It's easier to answer on here than it is on there. I can't see it. Good morning, Bob Kennedy, Clyde Bishop. Good morning from Maryland. Dave, morning. DA, infamous user error. All have been there. Yeah, that was my mistake. I'm glad I figured it out because y'all would have missed another mug club this morning. So thank goodness for that. Scuffed Frank, I'm here. Good morning, Christopher. Good morning. Not normally up in time for this. Well, good. Glad you made it up. Scott Hollywood Outdoors. Good morning, Mike. Beautiful day in Savannah. Yes, it is, man. It's you always got to stop and just really smell the roses and think about how nice it is. And it's, I don't know, it's probably low 70s right now. The humidity is not very high. I know right now we're getting more of a wind out of the west. When it pumps, of course, out of the south, it's more humid, but it feels really good this morning. But, oh my goodness, yep. Michael, good morning from Rhode Island. Michael Baston. Paul, good morning. What is your email again? Mike@michaeljsteen.com. Mike@michaeljsteen.com. If there's any moderators or anybody that knows it, and that J is Jay. A lot of people put J and it doesn't go through. So michaeljsteen.com. Somebody could put that up in the comments. That'd be wonderful. Good morning. What is your email? Oops. Dynamite. I don't quite get that one. Good times, Jimmy Walker voice. That's right. Good morning, Mike Caldwell. Scuff Frank, you're okay with the wind sound? Perfect. All right. Win checks. Good. Eddie, good morning, Captain. Good morning to you, sir. Byron, message retracted. I'm not sure why that is. You know, you think it would show us the message so we could see if it's okay to put it up, because sometimes YouTube retracts the messages on here and I don't see it. I could probably get to it, but in real time it's kind of hard not to. Suggestion for the future phone improvements, cell phone boosters for boat, Canon camera clean. Let's see, make sure, cell phone booster for the Canon camera clean HDMI for laptop unlimited cell. I'll have to read on that a little bit more. Anthony, if you want to send me an email at mike@michaeljsteen.com. Are you talking about I know what a cell phone booster is, but is there something else there I'm missing that you're talking about? If so, send me an email, explain what you're talking about. If it's something that helps and we do it, I always try to give out the prompts. Good morning, Forever Fixing. Good morning, buddy. I'm on my way to work. Well, hopefully you have a good day, and it's not, I'm working now. Good morning, Oklahoma in the house. Grout, good for you. Scott Hollywood Outdoor looking. Let's see. Scott Hollywood Outdoors, yep, looking forward to fishing with you guys this coming week. Yep, we're gonna put together, we got a couple fishing trips lined up, guys. I'm telling you, we're working on the content. We have been working on the content too. So that ought to be, these are a couple locals. Hopefully they can put us on some fish. I'm gonna do a little live stream out of that, also regular vids out of that. So hopefully that should be a good time. These guys have some channels, and it's basically collaboration. They help us and we help them, and that's a win-win. Contiki just got closer. I'm not so sure that I ain't drugged just a little bit. Corner area, good morning, sir. DA, remember YouTube will not always stream at the highest quality. I always have to change it to 720 or more. Correct. Nomad Internet is supposed to be pretty good and reasonable month payments. So far, he swung or I've swung. Got a little close here. It could be, I suppose, swinging, and so I got to keep an eye on that. The tide is right in the middle of the wind moving and the tide changing, so but I've gotten in some deeper water, so I'm not so sure I ain't drug a little bit. So when I start doing this, I'm looking at his boat and I'm looking to the other side to see if there's any movement, and if there is, I got to stop what I'm doing and deal with it. But no, I don't think we are. But so a couple things, couple announcements. Those that are Mud Club members, and those are actually people that go on michaeljsteen.com and you purchase a mug. It helps me out with the trip. Obviously, it's actually my major way of funding the trip. And you have different kind of access, not just regular. There's plenty of all kind of free content. These there will be some that are not open, but it'll be for Mug Club members only. But if you purchase a mug on michaeljsteen.com, it helps me out. And I finally, I told y'all I've been working on it, and I'm going to do a new feature, and that is that was one of the reasons to have two separate cell phones, and I feel comfortable to get ready to get started. And we're going to do live call-ins. So to begin with, Mug Club members, if you're interested to doing a live call-in where you actually call in, you're on live on the cell phone, obviously, and we'll have your question and we'll talk and chat about it. You know, whatever your question is, I always recommend that you have some questions like pre-wrote out or pre-thought out, because sometimes when you get on a live chat, you forget what you're thinking about. This wind is blowing up. And so anyways, those that are interested in that, I'm still on the same spot. I still see me. We're swinging closer together. So anyways, it's one of the problems with live chat. Live, you got to pay attention to what you're doing. call in. Mud Club members first, send me an email at mike@michaeljsteen.com, and what I'm going to do is probably a week or so before our first one, you send me an email. We'll do a test probably with a moderator, me to call in, and then we'll test it out, see how everything works. But those that give you time to send me an email, I'll put you in that folder, and I'm going to do some kind of like drawing out of it. I'm not 100% figured that out. But I think it's kind of cool. It'll be a way to add to the shows and people get some content in there. So those that are interested in that, send me an email. Eventually, everyone will have some access to that. But another good reason to go on michaeljsteen.com this morning, purchase you a mug and help me out. Sounds good. So that's number 2. So the meetup for those just coming in. Hang on just a second. It's got me a little, I can't see Kontiki on the corners. That makes me think. I've definitely, since dropping anchor, drug a little bit more to the center of this waterway here. The problem with that is so if you looked at the waterway, it drops off like that, all right? And I anchored originally over here. I anchored in 15 foot of water, but I remember looking at it yesterday when the high tide comes in, I was up at like high as 27. So your anchor that was originally sticking out like this, when your boat goes up, it's now up here. And wind, jerking, tide movement can move you. So I feel like it's moved a little bit, but not a ton. But so anyways, got me a little nervous. No big deal. There's nothing we don't, watch out for. I have the phone. The anchor alarm was actually set on this phone, but I turn it off whenever I'm doing these lives. So let's see. Rich, good morning from Hanover, Minnesota. I use Aquamap's anchoring feature, has an alarm, and is helpful for peace of mind. Yeah, I definitely have. I got Anchor Pro. I normally would have it set. It's on this phone. I don't want it to go off whenever we're doing the live. I'm watching several points, so it's just the way that the wind's got me turned right now. I can't see. Make sure they text me soon, right? Route kid-friendly joke. Why couldn't the cruisers play cards? Answer. They were standing on the deck. That's a good one. Now the wind is starting to drown you out. All right, let's change real quick. All righty. That should make it a lot better. I can see Kontiki actually in here, so that's a little better. Good morning, Ken Lanier. Throughout everything before you stood up, we couldn't hear you. All right, so hopefully I'm back inside the wind noise. Good morning, Kayak 7 Seas. That was Marty saying he thinks I moved a little bit. And Matt Moffitt, good morning. So just to recap, we have that meetup set for, back to my maps, Rodney J. Hall boat ramp, and that'll be on Wednesday at 7. So for those in the Savannah area, I know we've got several people wanting to come out and meet. We'll be at the boat ramp at 7, do a little bit of meetup, and we're going to be anchored somewhere near that. We don't know exactly because we hadn't got up there. A lot of times on the maps, we've seen several spots that show like where you can anchor, but then when you get there, it doesn't look so good to you. So we'll be somewhere close to that. I've got FYI, because it should be pretty good on the wind now. I was, let's see, what day was it? Friday of last week when we were talking about moving. um, I was mentioning Marty. I said we need to crank the motors and make sure everything is good because we were planning on leaving that Saturday morning, and I started to crank the starboard engine, and it'd been probably a little over a week since I cranked it. I don't know why I went so long without cranking it, but anyways, the water pump froze up or something happened to it, and it wouldn't turn in the belt, so it's smoking up. So I cut it off and fooled around with it. I pulled it off. I have a spare impeller. I always keep that on the boat. Put a new impeller in it and put it back on there. But when I tell you the housing of this water pump is literally just, it's disintegrating. It was some kind of cast aluminum, and it was just disintegrating. If it hadn't had the plate, there's an arm that holds it on. Anybody that's ever replaced them, there's an arm that helps to hold it on, and I could through bolt through that with a nut on the back. That's the way they come. And if it hadn't had that, I would have been stuck without a water pump. But long story short, I was able to get it working. It worked well enough. It runs up warm, like 180, 160, 180. And this boat runs like 140 normally. So it wasn't anything big time, but I had to keep a watch on it. We moved up to here, no major problems. But I got to have one ordered, and it's going to be delivered to an Amazon box here in Savannah. That's also on Wednesday. It's supposed to be delivered on Wednesday. So hopefully, the plan is, I also have a part coming for my small motor for the little boat. So that part's coming. But the plan is square everything around during the day. We'll do that meetup on Wednesday. And probably Thursday, we're crossing over into South Carolina. And we're gonna do the hookup meetup for that fish up actually next week. So that ought to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. Where we wasn't real conducive to fishing. Extremely tidal there. Only downside to it, but so hopefully here we're gonna be fishing the next, probably the end of this week, I guess. That'll be kind of fun. So let's see, let me answer a few more questions and I'll wrap this up. I got to see about what, I don't think I'm actually dragging, but I think I did drag some. Matt Moffitt, good morning. Let's see, what chart plotter do you use? I have a Garmin 73S. I forget what there's another name in there. It's kind of funny you mentioned that, because I just updated my system yesterday. We got here, we were kind of early, so, which is always scary when you're on the water updating your software. That's a Coast Guard. Coast Guard's been calling somebody, some sailboat. I don't know who it is, but anyways, so I updated my software successfully without losing any of my maps and, without some problem occurring, because that's a kind of a scary thing, because like when you pull your map, if you got to be very careful when you're updating those. This can happen so easily, but the card that's in it, the SD card that's in it, has your maps on it, and it tells you to put an SD card into the computer to load your software update. Well, you better be sure and not use the card that was in it, because that has your maps on it, because it will delete everything on that SD card and load the software update. So just, if anybody's got one of them Garmin's Echo Map, that's what it is, 93SV, then make sure you do that if you're ever updating your software. But let's see. Harold Connell, good morning. Finished your second book. Well done. Please finish the third book. Keep calling this boat. Yes, sir. Soon to be starting on that, actually, because books 3 and 4 begin. Captain Ike is on the loop. So the stories are beginning. People that I meet along the loop, you never know, may end up in the next book and the book after that. The book series changes from Caribbean Adventure Series, the Fire and Arson Caribbean Adventure Series, to the Fire and Arson River Series, because we're basically in rivers. So that'll be kind of interesting. I like to add people that I actually meet, change it a little bit in the books. I think that's kind of cool. Chris Vay, good morning, Mike from Illinois. Bill good morning from South Carolina. Coleman Martin, good morning from Topsail Beach, North Carolina. So yeah, I've been laying in there at night looking at, different places, because we're about to be in South Carolina, and we're getting excited about being up there. So we have a month. We'll have just over a month when we cross over the line to be in South Carolina, but we're probably going to move it up a little quicker, because like the plan is to pop out in Beaufort and come back in Charleston, because of all those. It's extremely wavy up there, but sometimes that's the plan and the wind doesn't allow it. So that's what the plan is. And when you hit Charleston, it's a nice ICW trip. It's pretty straight going up, all the way up through Myrtle Beach. Probably get a little boring at that point, because it almost is so straight. So we're making progress. We're right on time. I always get emails and get comments. People say, well, you're going so slow. We got one just, one of my videos, I forget, but I responded to the guy and I told him, I said, he was kind of talking about how he had made ever how many miles, in a month or a couple of weeks or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, I do not want any part of that trip. That's just driving every day. I did it. Y'all know that follow the channel a lot. I bought a boat in Niantic, Connecticut, and drove it down 2 weeks straight, all the way down. And though that's where I got hooked on doing the Great Loop, but man, that's just grueling. That's where the destination becomes more important than the trip itself. And we really don't even have a destination yet. We have a general area, but man, we're going slow. So it's a state per month. That was the idea. So we got time to stay, meet people like this meetup that's coming. We're always making time for these, fishing. That way the content is so much better. Y'all get to come along. FYI, I'm on my second video. It's probably just a few days out. I'll make a headway on it today. When we have these anchorages like this, we have time, or on a dock, we got time to actually get the content done. So between that and the live stream. So let me read a few more comments and then I'm going to wrap it up for today. Let's see. Dino, good morning, sir. Phil Gerber, hey, Mike, can't wait to meet you in the Hudson River, New York. Yep, that's going to be a cool place to be for sure. Marty and I was just talking about it. Definitely probably want to somewhere, maybe Sandy Hook is what we were talking about, having the truck and then driving into a couple of the different places, because there's not good places to come in by boat that ain't super expensive. So that's probably what we're going to do once we get up in that area. But when I came down before and I passed Statue of Liberty, we just pretty much blew by it. I mean, we stopped and stayed near it overnight, but didn't really get to go in there and check it out. So this trip for sure, we're doing that. Let's see. Friends Afloat, morning, Freddie in Daytona. How you doing, sir? And Coleman, are there going to be any meetups in Washington, North Carolina, or Wilmington? I'm sorry. Probably Wilmington's a pretty big thing, but we definitely will tell you as we get closer. It's like this. This is what I've learned from the meetup. So we do this a certain way for this reason. you think you're going to be here. So you tell everybody, all right, we're going to do a meetup here at this time. And everybody sets up for that. And then inevitably something happens and you're not here, you're back here. So what we're doing, just like I said last week, over a week ago, I said we're going to do a meetup in Savannah, but I can't give you a date yet. And just like today, I'm giving you the date when I know, well, I don't even know that we can make it from here, but I'm very comfortable that on Wednesday at 7, we're going to have that meetup. And that's the way we have to do it, because there's so many factors, wind, you know, the weather, all these factors that play in, and then we can't meet the schedule that we said we were going to do. So that's kind of why we're doing it the way we're doing it. Good morning from the Chesapeake Bay. Hayden, good morning, sir, from Panama City. Let's see. Jay Hen, good morning, Cap. How you doing? I've been in Statue of Liberty, seen your trip, forever fixing. Yep. I hadn't been in it, been by it, but this time by it, I'll definitely get to go in it. Carolina Beacher, come to Carolina Beach. We have protected canal right below Wilmington. It's a small island with a lot of fun places, even a carnival. I'll buy the beers. Carolina Beacher, keep talking to me as we get closer. Or even if you haven't, it seems like I'm not sure, if you hadn't sent me an email, mike@michaeljsteen.com. Do that if you will. Kayak 7 Seas, if you will, pin up a comment in my email there, if you don't mind, if you got a chance. But Carolina Beacher mentioned that in an email, so make sure, because we're knocking on your lower door for sure. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna recap the last thing here. This is why I have a separate phone, so that y'all not getting all these texts. So we're meeting Wednesday here in Savannah, Rodney J. Hall Boat Ramp. It's right there near Skidaway Island. It's the bridge going over into Skidaway Island at 7 o'clock. So this Wednesday at 7 o'clock, we should comfortably be up there. The Mug Club members, actual Mug Club members, it's a good time to go purchase your mug if you haven't. Send me an email if you want to be on the list to come on the show live. We're going to have where you'll call into a number and you'll be able to be on here live, and you ask your questions, be a part of it, a few minutes, be part of the show. So send me an email at michaeljsteen.com, and I'll get that folder going, and then we'll choose out of that. What I plan on doing is doing each one in pretty much like one per Mug Club, one per Live at 5, so we can go through the list. I think that'd be really fun, adding in, some different people and different points of view. So that ought to be fun. But we're going to start out with the people that have joined the Mug Club. So that'll work out. Any help there is much appreciated. Do my final questions and we'll wrap it up for today. Turn this crazy thing. Well, my comments just disappeared. There we go. All right, kayak contact. Yep, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And he gave a link to the Mug Club. You can purchase a Mug Club for those that are interested. CMP, good day, Michael. Cheers from Noosa, Australia. Cheers, brother. Scott, good morning, Mike. Scott Johnson. Hey, guys. As always, I really appreciate y'all coming along. It's fun. Sometimes I get bored. we're going to do a once around outside and show you what we're working with and where we're at. But it's going to be real windy, so I'm not going to not be able to talk too much whenever we're out there. So those in the Savannah, looking forward to meeting y'all on Wednesday at 7. And with that, we'll wrap her up. All right, let's get this camera turned around. I had to go under the bottom of the boat yesterday, so drying out here. I know it's a little windy, but I plan on zipping around that island down there later on. After I reset my anchor here, looks like I moved a little bit. But anyways, this is basically the Sawgrass Marshes, and it's that way almost 360. All the way around, sorry about that. Pretty much all the way around. Yep. Alright guys, when we leave, that's why I was telling you, that's the ICW right there. We're going to go around that bend. Haven't been around that bend. Not sure what it is. Not sure what's around that bend. But I can tell you what it's going to be. It's going to be a good time.